There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
Why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
you
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to, you're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you held on to the documents?
I was negotiating and we were talking to NARA.
So can I ask you a question?
What do you have? Go ahead. No, that's enough. Go ahead.
Can I ask? But that wasn't my question.
The problem is you don't write the truth. So, as far as I'm concerned, I want to go to the next
Can I
one.
ask you a question about?
No, not CNN, please. Go ahead.
The White House has not responded to these
I told you. CNN is fake news. Don't talk to me. Go ahead, please.
But he says he was retaliated against, and that's why he was removed from his job. Do you have a response to that?
Okay, next question.
Mr. President, I have.
Let's hear the question from this very low-rated anchor at CB.
Thank you, President. Do you plan to ask President Bukele to help return the mail?
Sure. Yes, I'm sure, bitch. I got the head of the CIA right here. He'll tell you.
What about people who say you're only interested in the Middle East for oil?
What? Huh? Oil? Who said something about oil, bitch? You cooking? Oh. Guess that means you need to shut the up. That's what I do if I had no army. I would shut up. Shut the up. That's right. What did I say? I'm not gloating, but what did I say? Did I not say that we would win it? We rocked them Bama's. We rocked them. Nigga, you see me coming on that plane? Shh. Damn, I know I shouldn't have called on this nigga. I shouldn't have called on you because you always trying to distract motherfucker. Fine, I'll answer your stupid ass question. Cause stop worrying about that. I got that under control.
Attention, please. My name is Uncle Ruckus, no relation. I want to sing y'all a brand new song I just wrote called Don't Trust Them New Niggas Over There. Sing along if you know the words. Don't trust them new niggas over there, leaving they nigga essence in the air. Them happy, nappy head niggas with the fingers on the trigger. Don't trust them new niggas over there. Don't trust them big nostrils over yonder. They suck up so much air it'll make you wonder. Don't trust them new niggas with their spotty little nigga figures. Don't trust them new niggas over there.
I think the N-word is okay as long as they say it.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening. I know it's a special Sunday night, 11:30 p.m. broadcast by Insomniacs. So, a lot has happened since I last made a video, but I've been busy. The social life has picked up. Other things are going on, but I'm definitely going to talk about the Iran situation tomorrow because, we all know what happened. But I want to cover the responses coming out of Washington tomorrow. So I'm sitting on it. Plus, I wouldn't have had time to do it anyway. But I promise you it was going to be juicy. At any rate, just to keep y'all updated on as far as what's going on in politics and media. As you're all aware, Netflix was trying to buy Warner Brothers, and Paramount was also putting in a bid for the Warner Brothers contract as far as the IP. CNN is, of course, a part of that IP. They're up under the umbrella of Warner Brothers, which is odd. You would think that they would be up under Disney. or NBC or something like that. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you would never think that Warner Brothers was producing CNN. Learn something new every day. So Warner Brothers, the reason why they had to sell, they was trying to, like everybody else was doing, trying to rebrand their IPs, get their legacy IPs up off the ground, because there's always those things print money. Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Star Trek, Batman, Superman, Captain America, all that stuff sells. This sells to the generation that grew up reading comic books and dressing up as heroes for Halloween, and still got the collectibles and whatnot. They go to those movies like clockwork. What's up, Ram? They go to those movies like clockwork. And back when Biden took office, actually it was before then. Remember that female Ghostbusters movie? It started with that. That was the largest IP. That was the first one that they completely destroyed. And understand it's intentional. It's intentional. They went in there with that ideology, that sexist ideology against men, normally found in women who don't even like men. And they just ran a wrecking ball through Hollywood. Remember all the race swapping and all that stuff? All the trans stuff and gay kisses? Yeah. Yeah, they ran a wrecking ball through Hollywood. So the point now where nobody's even going to the theater. So like what's supposed to be the summer blockbuster? What, the Marvel movie with Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom? I mean, they had to dig him up out of retirement. I mean, he didn't even want to stop playing the character that they just he priced himself out of the market at $64 million a movie. That's why the budgets were so big, but they were making billions. But of course, any corporation, they wanted cheaper. They want the same quality, but they wanted cheaper. Sometimes cheap is good. It makes you get creative. Sometimes cheap is good. I remember in the 70s, the Hollywood was pretty much dead. But then what we call blaxploitation films, they saved Hollywood. The movies for black people. Them Pip and Hustler and Preacher movies, Richard Pryor and all them. They saved Hollywood. They saved Hollywood. They saved their bacon. But you keep making missteps with your heroes. I mean, how many times did that Warner Brothers keep rebooting Batman and Superman and, just destroying their characters, like Wonder Woman supposedly fighting Trump in the Middle East? I mean, all that was because they set up Jonathan Majors. Yeah, because, if Jonathan Majors was killing it as Kang, if they'd have been like, look, man, you was running to get away from her, clearly. So we're not going to do nothing. You're going to, issue some apologies, maybe donate to a women's crisis shelter, and just, take your ass back to work. That's what any sane company would do. But we're talking about Disney. I mean, they were the hub of that feminist ideology. They own the most properties. They own the most IPs at the time. That's the whole thing. Don't get me started on that. But Ron DeSantis put his foot in Disney. They lost all their power in Florida. Reedy Creek, gone. And had to pay a $700 million back tax fine. They lost Reedy Creek. No tax breaks. Yeah, Ron DeSantis out there kicking butt and taking names. The reason why they got a surplus. At any rate, they tried to do Warner Brothers. They screwed up. They screwed up. Just like Paramount did. Paramount, their biggest franchise was Star Trek. Robert Kirkman screwed that up. So it wound up getting bought by the Ellisons. Warner Brothers was fumbling their legacy characters, too busy trying to play catch up with Marvel. Damn near bankrupt them, especially with all of the turnover. They switching CEOs. That Sony leak, yeah, that Sony leak, they never recovered from that. I mean, no better for them, but they never recovered from that. Only Disney stood strong because they had the most IP. And Marvel, if Marvel, let's be honest, everybody was chasing Marvel's success. But Marvel was original. Marvel didn't have all of that woke crap in it. It was what it was. Black Panther, Black Widow, big green Hulk monster, and a raccoon, and a green alien chick played by a black woman. That's all the diversity we need. We don't need them, my feelings are. Oh my God. Everybody was trying to play catch up and they destroyed it. I mean, look at Universal. Tom Cruise was trying to he was trying to launch because Universal owns the classic movie monsters. They were trying to relaunch those classic movie monsters and they failed. They say if you do corrupt business, you'll get effed up prizes. Yeah, Universal, they couldn't do it because nobody cared about. Well, they flopped with that Mummy movie. It flopped because you can't turn these horror movie characters into action adventure stars. You have to keep them true to the legacy. You have to stay true to the legacy. Even if the Mummy really doesn't make sense, as far as you standing in a room and it's just lurching at you, you act like you can't get away. Yeah, that's kind of stupid. But if you did the Mummy like you would do like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, where it just pop up on your butt. Yeah, you can do that. Make it the Mummy should be a jump scare movie. They could never get the Wolfman right. I think, oh good Lord. American Werewolf in London. What's up, Unsunken One? American Werewolf in London was able to get the Wolfman right. Buffy was able to get the Wolfman right. Why can't a studio get one of their legacy franchise characters right? Go back to the original film and take a look at what worked. Dracula is easy. You can't screw that up. Creature from the Blue Lagoon should be a horror movie. Probably set in the Louisiana swamp somewhere. Should be a horror movie. Show what it does when it catches people in graphic detail. Then you'll understand why, oh yeah, I should be scared of that. I mean, I'm just saying. They make it so hard. Disney, all they had to do was just as far as with Star Wars, was just go through the books. First movie I would have made I'd have made a Darth Vader movie. I'd have taken one of them books, one of them little obscure stories, like what's the best Darth Vader story? Okay, well, let's make a movie on that. Get the book, make a movie on that. Man, people would have ate that up. The lack of creativity within Hollywood is the reason I've been saying anime is king. They should have started with Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, Beauty came out with a kick-ass Dracula movie. I mean, like, you show Dracula being vicious. I mean, when he's talking to you, the Count and everything, he's very suave, smooth, debonair and everything. But when he's Dracula, yeah, he should be terrifying. Got their characters on cereal boxes. Frankenstein and Blueberry. Got their characters on cereal boxes as caricatures. That's how scary their characters are. Made a mockery of them. At any rate, yeah, Universal, I think they got so but let's get back on track as far as how bad decisions by not sticking with the source material that got you paid in the first place, how to get yourself on an auction block. So this comes to us courtesy of the New York Times. Tech, TV, movies, and news. Ellison's on brink of collapsed empire. If Paramount can close its deal to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, Larry and David Ellison will influence nearly every corner of news, entertainment, and tech. This is them. So, as little as a year ago, Larry Ellison, at 80 years old, appeared to be winding down his long career as a tech mogul. And his son, David Ellison, owned a lone Hollywood company, and a rather minuscule one at that, Skydance Media. I remember Skydance. You see their logo. It's, the little popcorn movie that you watch at home, whatnot, whatever. But now the two are on the brink of overseeing an empire that touches nearly every corner of news, entertainment, and tech. If the Ellisons close their deal to fold Warner Brothers Discovery into what is now Paramount Skydance, as they are poised to do after Netflix abandoned its bid on Thursday night, the family will control companies as powerful and varied as CBS, Oracle, CNN, Warner Brothers, Paramount Pictures, and HBO. Oops. Add in Oracle's recent 15% stake in the venture that controls the American arm of TikTok, and their holdings would rival those of the Murdoch family at the height of its powers. In the 2000s and 2010s, the patriarch, Rupert, oversaw a major Hollywood studio, the Fox Broadcast Network, Fox News, and the FX cable network, the New York Post, the Wall Street Journal, and the Skyline satellite television service in Europe. Even without TikTok and Oracle, the Ellisons will have assembled a collection of Hollywood properties that, while smaller, puts them in the orbit of superpowers like Disney. That's because of ownership of IPs. Here's a look at what the Ellisons could control if Paramount Skydance, formed when Skydance merged with Paramount in August of 2025, ultimately closes on its deal for Warner Brothers Discovery. So let's see, they own Oracle, which the $430 billion database software giant is the main source of Larry Ellison's fortune of about $175 billion. The company, which he founded, works closely with major companies, including OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, on data centers that can run and deliver its technology to consumers. Mr. Ellison serves as Oracle's executive chairman and chief technology officer. The company had $58 billion in revenue last year and 9% increase from 2024. TikTok. As of last month, Oracle controls 15% of the joint venture that operates TikTok, the enormously popular video app in the United States. Oracle's stake is as high as that of any other investors, which include Silver Lake, an investment company, and MGX, an Emirati investment firm. The venture has licensed the app's powerful recommendation algorithm from ByteDance, and it will also have the ability to moderate content in America. Good, because, you know, we found out that the Chinese was pushing all that garbage on us while they showing their kids flowers and gardens and exercise and stuff. Television, CBS. Even in a diminished state of broadcast television, CBS, which the Ellisons took over with the Paramount deal last year, remains a powerful weapon. The network owns marquee sports rights to the NFL, the NCAA basketball tournament, and the Masters golf tournament. With primetime hits like Tracker, Survivor, and Matlock, the so-called Tiffany Network is ranked number one among the broadcast networks for years. David Ellison has publicly called it a remarkable asset. HBO Max. Simply, HBO remains the crown jewel of premium television. The network, owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, has won the Best Drama Award at the Emmys 8 times in the last decade, dominating well-heeled rivals like Netflix, Apple, and Amazon. The network has been on a roll lately, with the surprise hit medical drama, The Pitt, as well as its latest Game of Thrones spinoff. I ain't been hearing no good things about that. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Okay, yes, the name of it. Sorry. Game of Thrones spinoff, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Sorry. HBO is led by long-tenured executives, including its chairman, Casey Boyles. Add in one of the most inviolable premium libraries in TV, The Sopranos, Sex and the City, Veep, The Wire, and another surprising heated rivalry, a show HBO Max licensed from Canada for very little money, and it will be a boon for the Ellisons. Cable networks. Cable viewership and revenues have plummeted, but the Ellisons are betting they can bring some life out of them. With all that woke garbage. Paramount Skydance already owns MTV, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, and BET. Coming with the Warner Brothers Discovery acquisition, HGTV, the Food Network, Discovery, TLC, Adult Swim, Turner Classic Movies, Cartoon Network, TBS, and TNT. And if you notice, like out of all of the negative viral videos that are like as far as like interviews and whatnot, if you notice, you don't see those coming out of CBS anymore. Ever since Trump sat down with that reporter, that CBS reporter, you don't see CBS saying and doing stupid stuff no more. They're right down the middle. Dude was not playing. He cleaned up CBS. Unless they face another lawsuit. Let's see. Paramount Plus. After taking over Paramount, Mr. Ellison promptly enlisted Cindy Holland, one of the key architects of Netflix's original programming strategy, as the head of Paramount Plus, which has 79 million subscribers. That's a lot. Paramount Plus is home to Taylor Sheridan's Landman, Tulsa King, I heard that was good, 1923, and Lionesses dramas, as well as the UFC and the Star Trek universe. Paramount has rights to Mr. Sheridan's future TV output through the end of 2028. And see, that's the thing with, hold on, let me come to y'all here. Say the extended Star Wars book make the new Star Wars look like dumpster gravy. They did my brother Roshi. There's only 2 badass Draculas I've seen. Yeah, book series. Yeah. So here's what killed me. So they put out another Star Trek, and it's terrible because the thing is that people want Ellison's to buy out. They want him or them to buy out Alex Kurtzman's contract because he's head of Star Trek. What's the name? What's that guy's name with all the lens flares? Help me out. The Jewish director that all he do is just do remakes. Everybody used to give him all this praise. I cannot think of his name. I can picture him, average Jewish man, slim, big glasses, big black hair. Terrible director. It'll come to me. Well, anyway, he had Paramount sign Alex Kurtzman to that deal where Alex Kurtzman had total control as far as creative control over Star Trek. And of course, he's woke. He's woke. So Star Trek has just been looking terrible. So much so that this is like I'm saying, it bankrupted Paramount. It bankrupted them. They had to sell. Paramount been on the chop, been up for sale for like what, 2 years before the Ellison stepped in. But everybody's like, you got to fire Kurtzman. Like, look, you have new ownership now. You can take. He's got this super golden the parachute. He got a golden island of a parachute contract. Do you understand? If he gets fired, they permanently owe him money. He would get like 10%, even if his contract, even if he gets fired, he's still the contract that they had these idiots sign said that even if he's fired and the Star Trek series lives on, he gets 10% of the profits from the series. I'm like, what moron signed that type of contract? But again, this is why they were up for sale. Piss poor management. So right now, the way it looked like the Ellisons is giving him a chance to, to self-correct. So, but he already had, you see, you got to smoke your cigar. Yeah. So he already had this current Star Trek that's out now. It was already being in production and whatnot, and it was already moving forward by the time the Ellisons, looked up. So they like, screw it. Like, all right, we gonna give you a mulligan on this one, but you bet not miss. Matter of fact, they got people coming down to watch the dailies. They got staffers coming down to watch the dailies every day and report back to them what they're seeing. That's what's going on with Kurtzman's Star Trek. The Ellisons are not playing with him. They like, bruh, get that franchise back on track, or we don't care. We'll bite the bullet. Matter of fact, we'll take you to court. All that money we give you, we'll make you spend that on lawyers. We'll tie you up for years. We'll just drain you with continuances and motions and everything. We'll just drain you. Big bank take little bank. I'd do it. I'd fire him. I'd get him up out of there. I mean, if he ain't really trying to save the series, then you say, I'm still watching Next Generation. I'm on season 3. Right. That was when they did it. That's when it was good. That's when it was good. Damn, I cannot think of that guy's name. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Hollywood directors. Oh, thank God he's not in the top 10. Oh, he's not even in the Modern Masters. Wow, they really don't like this guy. This stuff must be just that terrible. J.J. Abrams. That's who I was thinking of. J.J. Abrams. All right. That was Eat Me Alive. I know it slowed down the show, but That was Eat Me Alive. I had to get that right. So news. The self-branded worldwide leader in news may have diminished ratings and declining revenue, CNN they're talking about, but it remains a hugely influential news source with a very big newsroom. The network, owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, has more than 3,000 employees worldwide and a strong bench of talent that includes Anderson Cooper, Jake Tapper, Caitlin Collins, and John King. First and foremost, I don't even know who John King is. And back when I used to watch CNN, I was not watching no bleach blonde Anderson Cooper, and especially no old food like Jake Tapper. Caitlin Collins came after I was done with CNN, and I don't even know who the hell this John King dude is. Who? CBS News. The Ellisons promised major changes to CBS News, one of the country's most decorated news organizations, after they purchased Paramount last year. 60 Minutes and CBS Sunday Morning remain among the most popular TV series in broadcast news. In October, David Ellison hired Barry Weiss, a critic of traditional news companies, as his top editor. She has since appointed a new CBS Evening News anchor, Tony Dokapil, who has gotten off to a bumpy start. And she postponed a 60 Minutes report that was critical of the Trump administration, drawing accusations of political interference. Look, she don't have to put... If she don't want it to air, then she don't want it to air. She's the director. What the hell? But getting back to this CNN situation here. I bet you had that CNN even wrote their own article talking about how screwed they are once this deal goes through. And we'll get to that. All right, so Warner Brothers, this is what Warner Brothers owns as far as like what they get with the Warner Brothers package. Warner Brothers is Hollywood's second biggest trove of movie properties after Disney. Its franchises include Harry Potter, Batman, The Conjuring, and The Lord of the Rings. See, The Conjuring, those are some scary movies, as far as like the jump scare movie. Everybody loves a good jump scare movie. Let's throw some blood in there, Put an R rating on that damn thing. Conjuring and The Lord of the Rings. Warner Brothers also owns cartoon characters like Scooby-Doo, The Flintstones, and Bugs Bunny. Ooh-wee. The studio's library contains more than 10,000 movies, including a Casablanca, through an acquisition of the 1990s Warner Brothers library. Also includes other classic films like The Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind. The 110-acre Warner lot in Burbank, California has more than 30 sound stages. Now, you know what? If they redid The Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind, almost practically beat for beat, only with today's technology, man, people will eat it up. They'll eat it up. They'll eat it up. You see how Disney fumbled the bag with Snow White? Snow White, played by a Hispanic chick that's the same skin tone as me, and I don't look nothing close to white. Got her feuding with Gail Gadot on some Free Palestine stuff. Like, girl, sit down. Destroyed the movie, trying to make it woke. You remake it beat for beat, little touch-ups here and there. Unfortunately, with Gone with the Wind, you have to do the press release like, hey, look, we're just remaking a classic film. We understand that it has, some racist tropes in it. We're gonna try to tone it down. We're not gonna make it so over the top with I don't know nothing about no babies. No, we're not gonna be doing all that. We're gonna tone that down. We're gonna try to at least give them some dignity. Damn. This ain't the Step and Fetch It show. You could probably get away with it. You know, and hey, like understand, like not what we think about, you know, people right now. We just remaking a movie, and unfortunately, this is just an ugly part of it. But let it serve as a reminder. How about that? There you go. That normally helps people cope with their feelings. All right, Paramount Pictures, Hollywood's fourth place movie studio in 2025, with roughly 565 million in domestic ticket sales, according to Comscore, which compiles box office data. Paramount has struggled to compete in the franchise-focused movie business. Most of its big properties, including Mission Impossible, Star Trek, and Transformers, have been overworked and need reinvigorating. Paramount's library includes more than 4,000 films, including Top Gun, The Godfather, and Grease. The 65-acre Paramount lot has some of Hollywood's biggest sound stages and production facilities, including a 900,000-gallon water tank for aquatic scenes. Mission Impossible, Ethan Hunt. Tom Cruise is just old, man. He getting old. He gonna kill himself trying to doing all of his stunts. I mean, the movies are good, but you know, it's time to give Ethan Hunt a promotion. All right, something. One last adventure. We already talked about Star Trek, Transformers. They just ran Transformers down to the ground. I don't even think I've seen the one where like he was sold as an Optimus Prime with somebody's truck out on a farm. I didn't even watch that. I mean, they ran those movies into the ground. They destroyed that franchise. They need to take a break or take it to Cybertron. Let's see. Top Gun, they only did 2 movies. The Godfather, you can redo that. Yeah, there you go. You can redo The Godfather. What, Dustin Hoffman? He's still alive, right? Yeah. Yeah, you can do a Godfather. Have him passing the torch on to his son, just like, you know, his father did with him, even though he wasn't supposed to be really next in line. But they was like, man, we can't turn this over to Fredo. We can't do it. You're going to have to come out of school, Michael. I know your father wanted what was best for you, but, you know, your brother's gone. Your father's gone. We got to do something. No, anybody but Fredo. Yeah, you can do that. See how his son turned. To see it like him passing the torch down to his son. Have it like a son-daughter son type of rivalry thing, fighting over, you know, who's going to be the head of the family. It'd be interesting to see how the mob would play out here in 2026, 2027. Like, what would they be doing? What would be their business? You know, what would be feeding them? That would be interesting. I would love to see that. You could probably redo. I don't think they own Jaws, but you can do something. You can do a little horror sea movie about a squid or some crap like that. You know, I mean, like, where are these people? Where are their brains? Hey, Q was an awesome bastard. You hear me? Yeah, he was. I like Q. Dude who played Q. Yeah. Now the Annabelle crap was something else, man. Like, hey, Jackie Chan is still going, damn it. Yeah, but you know, these dudes are getting old. They're not getting any younger. All right, so here we go. What does the Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery merger mean for CNN? Bye, CNN Business. Oh, let's see if they're shaking in their boots. Viewers and readers of CNN might be wondering the same thing that CNN employees are asking right now. What will Paramount's ownership mean? I can tell you it's going to mean a bunch of layoffs. A bunch of layoffs and a bunch of centrist thinking. Answers are in short supply. Paramount executives have privately talked about the prospect of combining its CBS News unit with CNN. They have also praised CNN's news gathering machine and global reach. Wait, wow. So CBS News and CNN would cease to exist and just be one news conglomerate. Oh yeah, a bunch of people about to have some parachutes. Because I know Anderson Cooper, they redid his contract last year when it was under negotiation. It was under negotiation, yeah. He had his contract reworked. He get a fat golden parachute if he get fired. You know, Anderson Cooper's that's their boy. You know, just like Don Lemon used to be CNN's boy, but Anderson Cooper, that's their boy. He got some power over there. You know, just like Rachel Maddow with MS Now. One day a week, and you making all them millions. The hell out of here. But CNN employees and viewers have serious concerns about whether Paramount CEO David Ellison will uphold the news network's editorial independence amid severe political turbulence. Hell no. Hell no. You crazy? No. No. Y'all are the reason for the turbulence. No. President Donald Trump, after all, has long sought to weaken CNN, and he viewed the recent bidding war for Warner Brothers Discovery as another way to exert control. You know, I mean, this is their fever dreams, but they're right. He had to destroy CNN. You take down CNN, oh, you can forget it. This is like taking down Disney for woke folks. You take down their news organization? You really think millions of people gonna suddenly start watching The View? And you merging them so that way they have to follow the script? No, you ain't getting no political independence. It's over. That's the whole point. No more gaslighting, lying, fear mongering, race baiting. All of that is over. All of that is over. CBS don't do that no more. So it's over for you too. You're going to be pushed out. Either get with the program or get lost. We'll gladly pay you to go away. Goodbye, Caitlin Collins. Goodbye, Abby Phillips. And your collection of unemployables that be on your show. Yeah, these folks is going. Jake Tapper, fired. Gonna be fired. I don't know, but Jake is a snake. He play whatever side is favorable at the moment. But if you don't want to go, then this is what I would do for you. Number one, I would put you on Twitter. I'd still broadcast your show, but I'd only broadcast it on Twitter. Yeah, your contract says that I'm obligated to broadcast your show. It doesn't say where. Or better yet, when. I'll put you on at 3:00 in the morning. Have you do a live show at 3:00 in the morning where you are. How about that? How about that for punishment? No, Scott's gonna stay at 8:00. They're screwed. They're screwed. Paramount's financing has also come under scrutiny as several Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds are attached to the deal. Journalists worry that such funding could complicate or even chill CNN's coverage of the region. They're just investors. Furthermore, David Ellison's father, quiet investors, here, we're going to give you some money We know you're going to turn it around and we'll get our money back. That's all it is. Furthermore, David Ellison's father, Larry, the Oracle billionaire, is one of the richest men in the world and a close ally of the president. And so what? Larry is deeply involved in the Trump-approved deal that kept TikTok online in the United States. Right. So he did them a favor because they was going to ban TikTok in the United States. So he did them a favor. So what are you bitching about? I mean, we know what you're crying about, but, you know, you make it sound like it's a bad thing. The bidding war abruptly ended on Thursday when Netflix declined to counter Paramount's latest bid. Paramount's leaders seemed caught off guard by Netflix's capitulation. Just like everyone else, thus, the company hasn't commented yet on its victory or telegraphed its intentions for CNN. But Ellison has talked in recent months about his commitment to sustaining the news business and his belief that the majority of the country longs for news that is balanced and fact-based. Yes, that's why I watch Forbes. I mean, I cover the president because, I mean, the only way you're going to give Trump a fair shake is you have to actually watch him say it out of his mouth without somebody chopping it up to fit a narrative or anything. And all of these other Scott Bessents and whatnot, you got to watch their their press conferences and make up your own damn mind. Yes, I mean, Fox is no better. They overly sensationalize stuff. You know, I mean, they have a vendetta against the woke. And righteously so. They're good at covering interviews or maybe some foreign affairs, but not, I don't rely on them like that. That's crazy. On the day he officially took control of Paramount last August, he expressed big ambitions for the demoralized CBS News division, saying he wanted it to speak to the biggest audience possible. He asserted that CBS News coverage could appeal to 70% of Americans, ranging from center-left to center-right, a vision of the audience that mirrors CNN's own. Really? Is that true, CNN? Really? Y'all really think y'all got the people who are center-left to center-right? Is that y'all? Is that who you think is watching your network as your numbers just dropped in half from the last 2-3 years? I mean, on a good night, the most top-rated show on CNN is the Scott Jennings show. When he's on there, they average anywhere between 5 to 600,000 viewers. When he's not there, 400,000. The numbers drop dramatically. That's their top-rated show. Between 4 to 600,000 views. That's CNN's top-rated show. It doesn't even rank in the Nielsen Top 25. On the cable news side, I covered this. They don't even rank. I think Caitlin Collins came in at it was them, and then Caitlin Collins came in at 24 or something like that. I mean, just barely squeaking by, and they weren't too good. They was at 21. Nobody watching y'all crap. It's awesome. We mirror what they're doing too. Arguably, Ellison's biggest statement about the future of news was his wallet. In October, he spent $150 million to acquire the Free Press and make his co-founder, Barry Weiss, the editor-in-chief of CBS News. That decision and several ensuing controversies at CBS News have unnerved journalists both inside and outside the company. And more broadly, Paramount's attempts to put on a Trump-friendly face while seeking the Trump administration's blessing for its business deals have led to Democratic accusations of corruption and promises of future investigations. Oh, you scared? You scared. Former FTC Commissioner Alvaro Bedoya wrote on X, to win over Trump, they canceled Colbert, blocked the CCOT investigation, and then blocked Tallarico. Much more will follow. Block this rotten deal. Nope. Sorry. Ain't nobody blocking nothing. California Attorney General Rob Bonta said Thursday night that he might try to block it. The California Department of Justice has an open investigation, and we intend to be vigorous in our view. They got an open investigation about the foreign investors who were just investors. That they ain't worried about that. As long as they're not have any I mean, they got like one person on the board, you know, to oversee the money, oversee the investment, like one or two people on the board, but they're outnumbered on the board. So they're not, you know, really worried about that. But they think that those two people, as you know, that are on the board because of the money, that they'll be influenced by them, you know, like how BlackRock influenced Hollywood, CNN, and all of these businesses, Target, Bud Light, etc., etc., etc. BlackRock did something genius. They loaned out, they gave out whatever loan you wanted because this woke stuff was tanking these companies. Y'all should know this. These woke TV shows and games and all this stuff was financially tanking these companies. So they went to BlackRock to borrow money because BlackRock was like, yeah, we're giving out the business loans, 99 years to pay it back. How much you need? You know, like PPP loans. They giving out money like PPP loans. But we got to put somebody on the board to oversee our investment. So they were funding all of this garbage. Remember Larry Fink? I had the clip of Larry Fink talking about doing this, like socially changing America. That's why you got kids out here protesting ICE. Yeah, that was all part of the programming. We had to do it through entertainment, through the media, not just in the schools. You had to indoctrinate them also through media. So they were bankrolling that. They were pushing that. You drive down the stock prices, and then now with Trump and other corporations like the Ellisons coming in buying up stuff, you buy the stock. You buy the stock, and you getting it at a dirt cheap price because it was driven down because you were turning away your audiences. Meanwhile, you borrowing 400 million, $1 billion, $2 billion from me with interest. Yeah, give me some of them stock options as your company gets new management, because I mean they will fire the manager, the studio head, you will, the CEO, you will get fired for tanking the corporation, and then they'll put their guy in there. They'll make sure they get a good person in there that'll turn around the franchise, because I mean it's only money. They don't really believe in the ideology. They believe in the money. Yeah, go ahead. Do those movies. That sounds like a wise investment. And then you watch the stock options grow. So not only are they now getting paid back on the loan with interest, but also they're getting paid on the back end off the stocks of your company. They buy enough stocks, they become a major stockholder in your company. You're screwed. You just lost your company to BlackRock. They'll probably pull a move like that right when they're getting ready to get rid of the CEO. They push the vote to get the CEO out. They bring their own man in. They make double the profit. That's business. That's business. That's just good business. They'll play the hell out of you. But Paramount executives see a path to completing the merger by the end of the year. A source familiar with the company's thinking said, Ignis Signals and Ellison's Paramount. Paramount in the Ellison era is a complicated place with competing narratives about what's going on. The same company, they're getting into rumors now. The same company that canceled Stephen Colbert's late night show on CBS also renewed Jon Stewart's contract on Comedy Central and ordered more episodes of the chump screwing comedy South Park. Yeah, because those are their franchise brands. Jon Stewart brings in the money. Don't nobody really take Jon Stewart seriously, but he's got a good cult following. You know, he's a comedian. You know, no different than Dillis Miller. And South Park, I mean, come on. Everybody watched South Park. I haven't watched South Park in years. I still haven't watched the new Trump stuff. But, you know, I mean, just like Jon Stewart, South Park, they have a cult following. You know, shit, on the air 40 years, people still watching it. You stick to what you know, people will stick with you. The same news boss, Weiss, who delayed a 60-minute story that was critical of the Trump administration, also greenlit the story for TV a few weeks later and expressed regret about the controversy. Yeah, you got to be objective. You got to be objective. You have to let people be objective. You just can't be straight down the middle. If somebody wants to do an opinion piece, let them do an opinion piece. That's their job. That's what you pay them for. You got to let it go on both sides of the aisle. Yeah, she messed that up. And the same CEO, Ellison, who has forged a close relationship with Trump, previously donated $1 million to Joe Biden's re-election campaign. So what? Who cares? No, but getting back to that, you know, her pulling the story or whatnot, I get it. She's trying to save her job. You know, she's new. She didn't want to make a mistake. She knows that they're trying to turn over a new leaf, you know, without, you know, trying to do away with all this anti-Trump crap. But she should have been informed about that at least a week soon as it was finished. Matter of fact, she should have been in her office like, what's the deal with this piece that the guy is doing on Trump? What's the word on that? What's coming out of that? What do the dailies look like? Okay, we'll have legal look at it and see if we can do that without violating, you know, the new ideology around here. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. And if legal would have been like, well, it's within his rights, you know, it's not inflammatory, it's not damaging to Trump or the company. Like, okay, well, let me see it. Bring it to me. Let me see it. Bring it to me right now. Let me watch it. And then at least that way she know what's on it. And then like, okay, go ahead, put it out there. I don't like it, but you know, go ahead. As long as it's clear with legal, then you know, I didn't hear him say anything too crazy, then fine, go ahead. That's all she had to do. That's all she had to do. But she's new. CBS News continues to break hard-hitting stories about the Trump administration and the other topics. And Weiss has told confidants that she hasn't felt pressure from Paramount to bend CBS News in a politically partisan direction. At an all-hands meeting last month, she told employees that her only conversations with Ellison have been about fairness. That's it. He's never seen anything before it aired, nothing of that sort. Yeah, but that's what your job should be. You need to watch stuff before it airs. Her comments about the future of CBS News were quite similar to CNN CEO Mark Thompson's comments about the future of CNN. Okay, sure. Weiss called CBS News the best capitalized media startup in the world and talked about a much-needed digital transformation. We need to shift to a streaming mentality immediately, she said. Yeah, you do. You know, because the most watched apps right now is Netflix and YouTube. Yeah, you need to get in on this money. Fox 45 Baltimore Yeah, they call themselves. They put this stupid Fox 45 filter over their videos, their YouTube videos, and I mean it's an ugly graphic, and it just destroyed their sound quality. Their news videos aren't even watchable anymore. At least some of the segments, they're just terrible. Like, what is this? Who hired this special effects guy, this graphics guy? He fired this dude. But some early missteps by Weiss have raised eyebrows and left CBS News staffers wondering about her managerial abilities. Well, like I said, she's new. And political clouds, far out of her reach or control, have tainted public perception of her transformation project. Oh, okay, so because they won't fire her, that's what they're talking about. Mad because the Ellisons won't fire her. Last December, the Wall Street Journal reported that David Ellison offered assurances to Trump administration officials that if he bought Warner, he'd make sweeping changes to CNN, a common target of President Trump's ire. People familiar with the matter said. I know, I butchered that. I got something in my eye. Got sleep in my eye. Paramount did not respond to that assertion at the time because it was silly. Of course I'm going to make sweeping changes in CNN. Like, what are you talking about? It was a dumb question. It's the whole reason of me buying it. At any rate, when Paramount reported quarterly earnings earlier this week, the company said in a letter to investors that the leadership team at CBS News is focused on building one newsroom with one mission, delivering exceptional journalism to the broadest possible audience. With trust in mainstream news and legacy media at historic lows, transformation is essential, Paramount said. The goal is to build a modern news organization equipped for the digital age and rooted in facts, rigorous reporting, and audience-first storytelling. Okay. As part of this revitalization, we are focused on expanding the range of stories covered and the voices amplified, the company added, which means you're probably going to get more man on the street stuff. We are reimagining CBS News 24/7 with new formats and programming, and by investing in key brands such as 60 Minutes, 48 Hours, and Sunday Morning through podcasts, newsletters, live journalism events, and more. Yeah, because 60 Minutes. Well, you can't do a live 60 Minutes. Let's see. Well, 48 Hours, that's the crime show. Okay. And Sunday Morning, I'm not familiar with that. Interesting. Squint a little bit, and it's easy to see CNN in the same sentences. Jesus, Christopher. CNN is taking many of the same steps, for example, by rolling out a streaming subscription service. Yeah, y'all did that with The View. You can watch The View on, I think, Saturday, Sunday. They like streaming somewhere on the ABC Disney platform, and nobody's watching that crap. I mean, I know CNN and Disney are different, but I think CNN, I think they did it too. But the shows that are on there are just, but you know what? That would be a good place to dump people who are underperforming. Like a Jake Tapper. There you go. Yeah, dump him on a podcast. Thanks to cable carriage fees and advertising revenue, CNN is strongly profitable, on track to make about $600 million in operating profit this year, according to Warner Brothers Discovery. But annual profits used to top $1 billion. That's why I'm laughing. And the business is under considerable pressure. Because while I was reading it, I saw that 600. I'm like, wait, I'm reading ahead of myself. Like, oh, wow, y'all lost $400 million. damn. God damn. I mean, you know how you freak out when you just lose $40 or $4. You misplace a $5 bill, got you patting your pockets, lifting up books and stuff and old mail. Like, shoot, you just be on the hunt for that $5. They lost $400 million. Ooh, no wonder people was getting fired left and right. Any steps to merge CNN and CBS News, a long discussed possibility, may be impeded by the fact that the CBS News workforce is heavily unionized while CNN's is not. Which means nobody at CBS News is going anywhere. They keeping their jobs. The combination of the two storied news brands is both eminently logical, but potentially really hard to accomplish. Yeah, they keeping their jobs, man. They union. Yeah, that's it. But they union. CBS is union. Ain't nobody getting fired in a merger. What's up, thinking about? Ain't nobody getting fired in a union. It's over with. And to think I had some dude in my comment, on my community tab trying to argue with me that Paramount ain't finna do this or do that, because it was rumored, well, actually not even rumored, it was said that if Netflix if they'd have won the bid and they would have bought Warner Brothers, they were going to take CNN, HGTV, and all them little goofy shows that don't nobody watch. They was going to put them on like the Discovery Network because they have no interest in any of that, especially the news. Netflix, what is Netflix going to do with CNN? It's bleeding money. So Paramount was like, well, if you win the bid, we'll buy that package from you. We'll buy that Discovery Channel package from you. And they was like, okay. That was the deal. May the best man win, but if you win, we still want to get that. We want to take that junk off your hands. And they said, okay, come on. Because Netflix wanted that catalog, that Batman, Superman's catalog. That Harry Potter catalog. They wanted all of that. That's all they care about is the entertainment part. Now Paramount about to get it. And that's a beautiful thing. Now, what does it mean for CNN? It means layoff. Oh my God. Trump is he is destroying the Democratic Party. Just one step at a time. One step at a time. It started with Doge. Then the Department of Education, all of their money laundering schemes. You see, made JD Vance like, yo, your task is to take care of the fraud. Just take care of the fraud. Find the fraud, take care of the fraud. We'll prosecute anybody that's involved. That's why I hated that he hired Pam Bondi. She's just so, I understand she knew, but come on, chick, this is not backwater Florida. That mommying people, that soccer mommying people with the finger, that don't work. This is, you out here with sharks, you hear me? You out here with sharks and krakens. You got to strike with the power of Zeus, right? You're not Luffy. Stop acting like Luffy and act like the power of Zeus. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, destroyed their undercover drug operations with the cartels. Human smuggling, that's gone. I think the biggest thing that's still popping for them is at least the prostitution, not just the mattress mambo type, but also the labor prostitution that they put the men up under. With these, the laborers and everything. Remember, they raided that one business. They had employed 250 illegals over the course of like 5 years. Yeah, because it was a cartel affiliated business. They were a quote unquote staffing service. Dude was cleaning up. Yeah, the cartel was sending them there. Go there, get a job, start paying us back. They had a nice little funded operation. When you see ICE shutting down these stores and everything, yeah, these are cartel fronts. It's killing the Democrats Party. Party. It's killing their pockets. Why do you think they won't stand? They pledge allegiance to foreigners, the only people that's funding them right now. Hey, hypocritical as hell. They want to say Trump is racist towards Hispanics, but yet they wouldn't stand for the little brown Hispanic girl that almost died in a car accident because an illegal ran into their family vehicle, her and her father. Wouldn't even stand for her. Wouldn't even stand for Irina Zaruska, but you out here talking about some, you stand with Ukraine. Yeah, CNN was way better under Ted Turner. Yeah, because it was fair and balanced. It was fair and balanced. And then when he died, and what's her name? Jane Fonda got her hands on it. Never been the same. It hasn't been the same since. People down here, Ted Turner, a huge thanks. One of the largest employers. CNN is headquartered here. One of the biggest employers right here. From the janitor to the 8 a.m. boy, the anchor. From the janitor to the anchor. They employ so many people down here. Yeah, so if they merge, hopefully, the regular 9-to-5ers, I'm pretty sure they might keep their jobs. They'll probably keep their jobs. I doubt very highly the Weisses would shut down CNN, at least the building, and move it somewhere else. You don't have to do that. You can change the name, take the sign down, keep the same employees, and just run it from here. Everything is here. Just change the signage. Change the signage and the philosophy. That's all you gotta do. Anybody don't agree, you do whatever you want with them. Fire them or regulate them to the damn internet. Jim Acosta scared. Like, dude, let me tell you something. If they take you off TV, and I think that a lot of them, they know this. If they lose their jobs with CNN, or CNN messes around there and regulates them to like a YouTube channel, or a Twitter, or a TikTok, or even they would get ate alive on Rumble, because Rumble is right leaning. The whole purpose of Rumble was because of what CNN was doing to conservative news shows, or people who just lean right, getting their channel struck down left and right. So they moved to Rumble, and Rumble wound up getting their stuff together. So now you can't go to Rumble. That's like a Republican posting on Blue Sky. Same thing with Twitter. I mean, Don Lemon, understand Don Lemon is looking at going to prison simply because he was trying to be relevant, because he's irrelevant. I mean, he got his own little clique, but I mean, we're talking about somebody that was on TV for a long time, anchoring the morning news. In his first interview after being fired, he blows a $25 million, what? I think it was $25 million a year or something like that. Well, I know it was $25 million contract with X, with Elon Musk, because he wanted to be a dick. He was trying to show CNN or his Democratic, what he think are his Democratic buddies, trying to show them that he was still on the team. I'm gonna hit Elon Musk with a hard question. Elon was like, man, you know what? I tell you what, I don't care what the payout is. Your contract is ripped up. You're fired. Now he's regulated to getting clowned in his man in the street interviews. Don't nobody watch that YouTube channel. If anything, we see him getting clowned in his clips. Profound ignorance. Not all attention is good attention. And he wanted that attention so bad, trying to break a story. And now he's facing a year in prison under the Klan Act. Of all things for a black man to be charged with is with the Klan Act. I mean, the irony of a gay black man getting charged with the Klan Act. That's crazy. That's just as crazy of Jesse Smollett saying two white guys in MAGA hats at 2 a.m. in the middle of probably the worst snowstorms ever seen in Chicago. At 2 a.m. talking about Subway sandwich. They throw this rope around my neck and they threw black bleach on me. They said this is MAGA country. And they would have raped me 5 times, but I was able to get away. They were pulling on my pants. Oh, he said he was gonna kill me. I can't even say the joke. You gonna teach me a lesson? I'm gonna teach you a lesson, boy. I ran for my life. Trust me, if he would have said that, it'd have been too much. Nobody would have believed him if he just went that far. But believe you me, I guarantee you, he was also trying to dream up some type of sexual assault situation, to make sure he get all the bases covered for his story. Make it as sensationally believable as possible. Oh my God. No, so the situation with, oh my God, but I want to say it because if you're still trying to do backdoor deals with China as the Democratic Party. The whole thing with Venezuela and now the bombing of Iran, and I posted in my community tab, I didn't even think about that, was that Russia and China's biggest oil suppliers have been destroyed or taken over by the United States. Well, I mean, Iran is still trying to get off all their little missiles that they can. You know what I'm saying? They little lick back. Like if you punch your little brother in the arm, give him a froggy, and you like 10 years older than him, and he's swinging back at you. You got him by his forehead, but he's hitting your arms, but he's not doing any damage. You know, that's what Iran is doing right now. But wow, China and Russia. You got South Africa pretty much having financial issues. That's why they came to the White House trying to get a mineral deal with Trump that blew up in their faces. Man. Wow, your boy is badass. Your boy is badass. He checkmated both of them. He checkmated China and Russia in less than 30 days. He checkmated Russia and China in less than 30 days. And he took down Iran's. I mean, it's like, you know what? Like, we don't care what you do. Just don't let us see you shooting no Muslims. Like, that's the way he handled it. Don't let us see you shoot no Muslims. But trust me, you see, we got Maduro. We got Maduro. He was sleeping. We tapped him on his shoulder. Woke his ass right up and marched him out his little tracksuit. You think we won't come get you too? Then you tried to run. Oh, that was the worst part. You tried to run. Just stay in your bunker. We don't have to put boots on the ground. It's 2026. They just drone strike your ass. Thanks, Obama, for showing us how it's done. Yeah, I see why you did it. These drones are amazing. I was still in my pajamas. I press this button here. Yes. Okay. Good Lord. Ain't no more boots on the ground. You only go there to conquer territory. And you don't even have to do that. All you got to do is just put in, a USA friendly leader. That chick that took over Venezuela, she trying to serve two masters. She's still trying to answer to, Maduro's people so she won't get shot. But meanwhile, at the same time, she's relinquishing to whatever the United States is saying. She's trying to serve two masters. But they got a special election. They got a special election coming up. So that chick, she'll probably be glad to get up under that situation. Let the other person deal with the gangsters. But they'll probably be cleaned out too, and then probably up for. Well, Argent, you know what? We'll let Venezuela handle their own problems. We're not getting involved, but we will pass along intel to help the new president, secure her nation. We'll do that, just like we did with Iran. They knew everywhere where the Ayatollah was going. CIA kept close tabs on him. Yeah, he on 39th and Liberty. Yes, third floor, apartment C. Yes, press the button. This button right here. Yes, Mr. President. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, I got him. These drones are amazing. Yeah, there goes the power base. There goes the power base. If Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and that those Muslim mayors like Mondami and the one out in Dearborn, all these Somalis, if y'all think, let me tell you something. Y'all out here killing and kidnapping dictators. What the hell make y'all think that y'all gonna get away with something? That dude has a plan. You take away y'all media apparatuses and it'll be no more spin to the story. The only people that people will have, the only cable news that people might watch that will have any type of different voice, considering what Trump is doing, will be ABC and MS Now, and maybe NBC. But, not too many people watch NBC for news. Let's just be honest. ABC, the only thing that's their top rated, I guess you could say their top rated news show, or one that get all of the clips anyway, let's just be honest. But they still do about 3 million, 3.2 million in their time slot is The View. They still pulling in an audience. They're not as profitable as they used to be, but they're still a profitable show. And ain't nobody sane is gonna get their news from The View. That's for old ladies, chicks over the age of 40 that are, still trying to find themselves through a paintbrush. Yeah, they watch that trash. Yeah, but with The View and with MS Now, you can't even. MS Now is unwatchable right now. When MSNBC, when they separated from them, they kicked them to the curb and made them change their name. They did themselves a favor because, that network, all it is, it's true TDS, true Trump deranged syndrome. It's terrible. They put out a terrible product. Joy Reid was a walking liability. They had to fire her. They got rid of her before, they became MS Now. They knew what was going down, but they had to get rid of her so that way they could make a clean break and save money on the split. Plus, wasn't nobody watching that crap anyway. You see, she's on YouTube and doing terrible. Just like Tiffany Cross and Bakari Sellers and them, just doing terrible. Joe Budden is just destroying y'all. And you got the nerve to run your mouth because Mark Lamont Hill, had the nerve to get emotional with somebody. Oh my God, the unhirables. Yeah, you destroy their news organization. When you start making your push, where you start locking up or throwing handcuffs on people like Tim Walz and everything, CNN won't be there to gaslight the public. There'll be no more celebrating criminality and calling accountability racist. That's going to be over with. The sound bites that you're going to get from, Jasmine Crockett and Ilhan Omar, depending on how long she's still running around free. Them little goofy little sound bites you're going to have to get from MS Now or Forbes, maybe NBC. I take it back. It'll be everywhere. What I mean by is that you'll get her goofy sound bites, but you won't get a favorable slant about her sound bites. That's what I mean. Yeah, they'll call her out. They'll be calling her out. You can see it coming. Just watch. Soon as she say something stupid, or Jasmine Crockett, does her typical blackface routine. Yeah, you how they respond to it. If they respond to it the way a credible news organization should respond to it, that's when you know that they've made the switch. CNN is trying. They're trying to pretend that they're fair and balanced with some of their questions or whatnot. But overall, they still are left-wing extremist cable news organization. They're just not as extreme as MS Now is. God damn, just unwatchable. And The Hill, y'all ever watched The Hill? They got this show on the Hill. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to, but they got this show on the Hill where they put the white dude, the polished white dude with the glasses, looking like a grown-up nerd, up against Akeisha. And the Keisha is always defending the criminality of things, the lack of accountability, just being a typical Keisha. It's embarrassing. I mean, it's Abby Phillips level of embarrassing. She trying to make issues about race that has nothing to do with race. Sure, a lot of the illegals that are here in the country are of Hispanic and African descent. The Europeans not by Europeans, I mean other whites that are non-American that have came here, that Russians, Englishmen, Frenchmen, etc., overstayed their visas. Not too many of them sneak into the country. Once you get caught, you really don't want to go through that deportation process because you're throwing away money. So it's easier to come with a visa, cheaper and easier to come with a visa, and then just overstay it and hope that you get lost in the system, that nobody ever comes knocking for you. You just got to keep your nose down. I mean, keep your head down, keep your nose clean. You'll be all right. They'll leave you alone. At least that's how they used to play it. A lot of them self-deported. People don't know that. A lot of them self-deported. You had some that were caught up in stings that were forced to deport. They don't ever talk about that because the numbers are way too small. Your biggest number is Hispanic. So they try to make it about race. CNN try to make it about race when it's about status. It's like people don't even, if you notice, these politicians and these news organizations like CNN, they don't even make the differential between legal and illegal immigrants. They just say immigrants. Like, no. We're talking about illegal immigrants. Most particularly the criminal illegal immigrants who are here part of cartels and other gangs. Those especially. You don't want none of these people living next door to you. So why in the hell do you want to keep them here? Unless, you think that they're going to be your foot soldiers in a revolution to take over America? It'll be interesting to see how all of these Muslim extremists who are sleeper cells tied to Iran, it'll be interesting to see what their response will be this week here on the United States soil. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting. See if they got the guts. I mean, your supreme leader is dead. Do you have the guts to carry out his final orders? Now see how much you really truly believe in the cause, because you in 2A country, bro. This ain't Iran. It's America, Jack. We have a gun problem, which is too many guns and too many crazy MFers who like to shoot them guns off at normal people, normal defenseless people. You would think these schools would learn a lesson. Metal detectors, armed personnel. Yo, you don't even need to arm teachers. They talking about giving teachers guns. You don't have to do that. All you gotta do is just make school classroom doors secure doors. Or if you got a situation with an armed shooter that's, in the building or whatnot, the principal goes in, hits a button, and all the doors locked, automatic lock, boom, clack. Yeah, it's gonna cost a fortune, but do you want to keep your children safe, or you just want to, play Russian roulette with their lives? School shooters shouldn't be able to get through the front door anyway, or any door. You would think that they would refurbish these schools to where, you ain't getting in here. You ain't getting in here. You're gonna have to ram through the front doors with a truck, and good luck getting past the barriers, let alone the doors. We'll see how that shakes out. I get the feeling that might actually start happening in some of these major cities. We'll see how that shakes out. I think a college campus would probably be the first place to do it. You can get a college campus to do it, have them auto locks and everything, just in case there's a shooter. I mean, the school should probably do it first, but a college would have the funds to secure its campus like that, to overhaul their security. See how much it costs them, and then bring it down the scale and work from there. I know, it's so simple a caveman can do it, but people don't. I don't even think these people really even care about their children like that. But you don't have to change the curriculum in the schools to get that to happen. That's why I was saying 2 generations. I've been saying 2 generations for a minute as far as trying to set stuff right, because this generation that we got, these kids, they're cooked. They out here protesting ICE. Teachers are out here letting them do it. You should be fired. You're an educator and you out here protesting with teenagers. You got them on your front lines doing your dirty work. That's an automatic termination with cause, which means no pension, no union rights. You're done. It's not what you're here for. Automatic termination for teaching propaganda, political propaganda. It's not your job. People say we're living in the age of consequence culture. Well, let's start seeing them. I mean, we see them, but we need to see more of it. We need to see more of it. Just like them kids that assaulted the cops with the snowballs, and Mom Dominique called it a snowball fight. And I don't see the police fighting with anybody outside of fighting with keeping their cool from just pulling out that 9 and ventilating the crowd. That was the only thing that they were fighting. They were fighting demons. Them cops were fighting demons. They were getting pelted with ice and snow. And then you got the freaking district attorney. Was it Keith Ellis? Dropped the charges. I mean, you can only play in your cop's face so much. But for so much, before one of them turn around there and do a kingpin on you. Y'all familiar with the kingpin's history? Well, let me explain it. He was a bodyguard to a mob boss. And, the guy was old. And Kingpin just snapped his neck and took over. Once he had enough men on his team, he snapped the old man's neck and took over. That's how the Kingpin became the Kingpin. You keep playing around, Brandon Johnson, Mondami, Gavin Newsom, you keep playing with people's money like that, and one of them people on your detail might pull a kingpin. They might pull a kingpin, or Darth Vader and Palpatine. They might pull a Palpatine on you. Like you better be very careful with, the games that you playing with these folks, especially in the you playing games with your police chief. I mean, goddamn. I don't know how far Tim Walz and Jacob Fry can push their chief of police. I mean, they pushing that dude to his limits. They got him up there completely lapdogged. But how much longer is he going to put up with that before, they start issuing out indictments? Once they start issuing out indictments, and I'm telling you right now, if they hit either Fry, Walz, or Ilhan with an indictment for that fraud, or better yet, the town treasurer and all of this shit, if they start hitting these people with indictments for fraud, that chief of police, he gonna sing like a canary. Like, I had no parts of it, sir. Mr. Trump, I had no parts of it, sir. Like, I just stood there like a good boy, did what I was told, but I didn't touch not one lick of money outside of my salary, sir. Y'all can check my bank accounts. I took no money. At least he better hope. He better hope he got clean hands. He just ran his mouth crazy, but hopefully he better hope his hands are clean, because they coming. They are coming. They was already snatching boxes. Fulton County thought they was in trouble. FBI came in snatching boxes on a criminal warrant. Got these folks down here scared as hell, just like Fry and Walz and Omar, scared as hell. Yeah, you're not going to have a news organization that's going to run cover for you anymore. Yeah, that's over with. That's over with. Well, they're gonna talk about your asses like dogs. Like the dogs you are. They're gonna talk about you on the new CNN. Ooh. I wonder what they'll call it. They ain't gonna talk about y'all like dogs. Y'all ain't gonna get no. You're not gonna get no favorable coverage. He'll pay for him. All right. What we got? It'll be interesting to see what they do with the legacy characters, the Warner Brothers, like, the comic book, cartoon, etc. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Personally, if I was them, I would bring back Zack Snyder to finish the second half of the Snyder Cut, because they left it off with a damn good cliffhanger. The only thing they really need to tell him to do, though, is scale back on that slow-mo crap. Like, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. I get it when you're doing, scenes with the Flash, when he saved Iris. Oh, that was beautiful. That was a work of art. That was poetry in motion. We actually get to see how Flash actually uses his power. That was beautiful. But as far as all that other stuff, yeah, you can cut that off. We don't need that. Yeah, throw in the slow motion punch to the jaw. We're fine with that. That's typical. People expect it. But a whole action scene, bruh? No, we're not adding 40 minutes to the runtime because of one scene. I'm exaggerating, but it was intriguing. See if you can get Henry Cavill back before DC snaps him up. Hurry up before DC snaps him up. I mean, not DC, Marvel. Excuse me. Hurry up before Marvel snatches him up. Because if Marvel get their hands on him, you can forget it. You can forget it. Because I kind of get the feeling that if Hugh Jackman wouldn't have came back, they probably would have went with the Calverine. Although I really do think that they screwed up. They should have made him Dr. Doom. They'd have had Henry Cavill playing Dr. Doom, man, it'd have been over. It would have been over. It would have been over. They fumbled the ball on that one. Because that's a legacy character. He'd have been around. You've got the Fantastic Four coming in. You know, they switch universes. So if you had Henry Cavill as Dr. Doom versus the Fantastic Four, and Marvel, I mean, they're trying to get their magic back. We'll see. That Spider-Man movie was promising, but that's because Sony was involved. And Sony wasn't a woke company. So we'll see if Marvel has recaptured their magic. But they blew that. They blew that one. It's probably not too late. They do all that multiverse crap. Not too late. That was the thing with the Deadpool movie. The Deadpool movie tied up, you know, the whole time cop crap, made them obsolete. They can be negotiated with. So you can kind of close that loophole. Outside of that, you know what? For me, I think with Warner Brothers, as far as, you know, their superhero characters, what I always liked was their animations. Like Wonder Woman chops off heads and whatnot in her movies. You know, she is nothing to play with. You get a better sense of Batman as far as the whole ninja thing with him, like as far as in the animations. The Harley series, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, but it's really Harley Quinn. That's funny. That's enjoyable. You know, it puts you in the world of Harley Quinn is how she sees it. So you know, you can get into it. It's a good show. It's funny. That was the one with Joker found out Bruce Wayne was Batman, and he was like, "Where's the goddamn electric car, Bruce?" Yeah, it's funny. That's a clip off of that show. It came from that show. Yeah, the whole Scooby-Doo, that Velma show, that needs to be redone or scrapped. They need to bring that back. But kind of keep to the original. Shit. The Flintstones. I mean, the Flintstones, are they even a viable? I mean, how would you reimagine it or try to even bring it back? Would you bring it back as an animation or a live action? And would you start with 12 episode streaming service arc, or would you put it in a theater? You know, what would you do with that? Harry Potter, they've remade Harry Potter. They put out I think they're putting out a new Harry Potter with younger actors. They kind of like starting it back over. Yeah, I mean, as long as you stay true to the books, because what's her name? What is the chick's name that did the Harry Potter books? The one that's over the Harry Potter books. I can't think of her name. But yeah, she's back in creative control. They put her back in creative control for Harry Potter because they couldn't afford, when Warner Brothers gave her that contract, they couldn't afford for it to flop. They need to look shiny and pretty to whoever was going to buy them. There used to be an independent YouTube channel called Mystery Inc. that was going to do a realistic series on the Scooby-Doo crew. I think the big company put a stop to them. Mystery Incorporated. Okay. Yeah, because, you know, I'm looking to do a series myself with a couple of people I've been working with, like a sort of Daphne Velma type of thing. I'm looking to do a series like that, but not naming them that, just borrowing the aesthetics. Probably won't get a cease and desist, but I'm working with a good videographer, so who knows? Who knows? Just got to get everything together. You know, keep trying shit, work out, trying shit. That's how you succeed. Keep trying shit. At any rate, no, it'll be interesting to see what they do. This new Superman, it was very comic booky. You know, the Supergirl movie that's coming out, that's supposed to be very comic booky. I mean, I guess they're trying something new. Say that would be very cool. Yeah. We'll see how it works out. I don't want to give away too much, but like the girls, they broke away from the guys. They've got their own detective agency. And they're going to be, I want it to be bloody. I want them to access to brains, okay? I mean, I really want them to get up in there and get very physical. You know what I'm saying? This whole jinkies, my glasses, we're not about to play that. No, they're gonna be murking. It's Mr. Feinbarn. I put two dead center. Oh well. Get the shovel. Get the knife. We'll put it in his hand. Get the biscuit. Get with the serial number sawed off. You know how we do it. Sprinkle some crack around them. Let me rip your shirt and say, "Oh, he was attacking the officer." Be running a number 3 special on them. Have the mysteries end with that. Girls, this is the 12th person you've murdered this week who was trying to sexually assault Daphne. What is going on here in this abandoned shed? What is this shit? You know, stuff like that. I mean, not exact. I'm being funny, but you know, gotta explain those deaths somehow. Anyway, no, Superman. You know what? I was saying that if you really wanted to if DC really wanted to be more different, or if Marvel wanted to kind of bring back their audiences, they would have to do an R-rated movie, and they did that with Deadpool and Wolverine. Them doing that movie was brilliant. It was brilliant because they was like, okay, we get Marvel. That was supposed to be the signal that we get Marvel on the right track. You know, bunch of explosions, bunch of crazy fight scenes, and goofy humor. You know, superhero go through the hero's journey and saves the day at the end. The same old formula that made them billions upon billions of dollars. Just stick with that. In fact, I understand. I think they leaked in the script that Thor's daughter, the girl, yeah, she's supposed to be murdered by a deity, a god or something. We'll see. No, but DC, if I was DC, I would put out an R-rated movie. Matter of fact, and if you were going to reboot the characters or whatnot, or if you were going to call yourself just, we're doing the story. We've already got that stuff in the can. We're doing separate stories. We don't need to go over origin stories anymore. We're just going to create our own stories. And you make the Superman the Batman and the Wonder Woman and Aqua. I don't even know if you want to deal with Aquaman. You definitely got to read. I would say Aquaman and Flash. You don't even give them a movie. If you're going to give the Flash a movie, then you need to have him go up against Yellow Flash, because that's his greatest enemy. He's going to have to go up against Yellow Flash. If not, then don't even waste your time. But they should be R-rated, because the superheroes, except for Superman, should be, and Batman, should be murking people. If anything, Batman is finding dead bodies. You understand? It's R-rated because of the content. Same thing with Superman. It's R-rated because of the themes. If you do that, the audience will come back, because it'll be intriguing. Like, what? An R-rated Batman movie? Oh, I got to see this. And then they literally show him breaking arms and legs and fracturing spines. You know what I'm saying? Because Batman don't kill. But if he actually do put them ninja fighting skills to use, where he start incapacitating people, yeah, people will want to see that. Don't tell me you wouldn't. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. Let's get some sleep. Y'all be safe out there. Take care of yourself.
No, gentlemen. Mr. Butler's been up north, I hear. Don't you agree with this, Mr. Butler?
I think it's hard winning a war with words, gentlemen.
What do you mean, sir?
I mean, Mr. Hamilton, there's not a cannon factory in the whole South.
What difference does that make, son, to a gentleman?
I'm afraid it's going to make a great deal of difference to a great many gentlemen, sir.
Are you hinting, Mr. Butler, that the Yankees can lick us?
No, I'm not hinting. I'm saying very plainly that the Yankees are better equipped than we. They've got factories, shipyards, coal mines, and a fleet to bottle up our harbors and starve us to death. All we've got is cotton and slaves and arrogance.
That's treachery! A problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Right, bye. Thanks for the fun.
Get the fuck